Fog football coming at you fast with some transfer news. There was no daily transfer roundups over the weekend because, guys, in all honesty, there was no news, but there is news now. So we are back and we're going to discuss it all up next in the video. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Like I said, the weekend, very, very poor. Nothing happening, man. There was crickets, there was like tumbleweeds, there was just nothing happening in Scottish football. I was almost tempted to go to the bank and get a loan like £10 million, just so I could make some moves happen, because honestly, man, I was sitting there looking at the computer thinking, what the hell has happened? Scottish football's died to death. But don't worry, it is Monday and we are back, 10th of July. There is things happening, there is transfers happening, and we are going to discuss them right here, right now. So it looks like Antonio Cho Gue is off. He is going to be heading to the Bundesliga. Werder Bremen are the current team. They're one of many teams looking to sign Cho Gue, but they seem to be the team that are leading the way, the team that are showing the most interest at the moment, with a £2 million move for Cho Gue being considered. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether it's going to be Werder Bremen that signed Cho Gue, but I do think that he will leave. I don't think he's going to be in Michael Beale's plans. I mean, Michael Beale refused to pick Cho Gue in a lot of important games last season, and Morelos was done. I mean, Morelos was offering nothing, and Beale still refused to pick Cho Gue. I mean, if Cho Gue couldn't get into the team when there basically was no striker, how is he going to get into the team now when Michael Beale has brought in Lammers, he's brought in Dessers, and he wants to, I think he's trying to bring in another one, Danilo. So if Michael Beale brings in his own strikers, I just don't see any chance for Antonio Cho Gue. And I think the Bundesliga would be a good move for Cho Gue. Look, I don't think the guy's great or anything like that, but it's a good move, and Werder Bremen's a decent team. So if Cho Gue can get this move and Werder Bremen want him, then for me, I think it's a good deal, because I don't think he's going to be number one at Rangers, and he may as well go to Werder Bremen, especially if they would be willing to play him as their number one striker. So we'll see what happens. And speaking of Rangers, it looks like the move for Jose Cervantes is going to happen, but it's currently on hold, and it's not expected to be announced officially for another couple of weeks. So we've seen this with Dessers, where Rangers pretty much had the guy signed for a few weeks, but they did not announce it. And I don't know why they're doing this again with Jose Cervantes. I don't know if it's a new tactic for Rangers. Maybe they're just trying to distance out some of their transfers. Maybe that is the case. But it does look like this move has been agreed for around £1 million. And it's just a matter of it being made official. Now, speaking of big moves, could Jose Mourinho be about to raid his former team, Manchester United, for Scott McTominay? Yes, it is rumoured that Mourinho wants Scott McTominay. He wants to bring him to Roma. And I think this would be a good move for Scott McTominay. We've seen a lot of Scots flourish in the Serie A league, and I think Scott McTominay could do that. I think in the Roma team, he would pretty much, I think he'd be more likely to start for Roma than he would for Man United. And I think him working with his former boss, Mourinho, would also be beneficial. And I just think it'd be good for Scotland as well. If Scott McTominay, the more games he's playing for his club team, the better it is for Scotland and the national side. And you know what? I think Scott McTominay he's proved me wrong. I didn't think he was much of a player. I always used to be disappointed when he got picked for the squads. I didn't think he was that good, but he has upped his game a lot recently, and he's shown that he can be an important player for us. So you know what? If this means he gets more game time, then I would welcome this move, and hopefully it happens. And finally, South Korean striker Cho Hyun Seo has come out and said he has no regrets over rejecting Celtic, as he gets his move to the Danish league by joining Michelin. Now, last season, Cho Hyun Seo was in demand. There was a lot of clubs wanting him. The two clubs probably that were most interested were Celtic and Mainz. However, Cho Hyun Seo didn't move. Whether it was because he didn't want to, or whether it was because the value wasn't right, the transfer money wasn't right, we don't exactly know. However, he did come out and say that he had no regrets for not signing for Celtic or Mainz, and that if he did sign, he said that he think it would have been a mistake and he would have regretted it because he was dealing with an injury and he thinks he would have struggled. So I'm not too sure about this. I think either Celtic or Mainz would have been better transfers than Midtjylland, if I'm being completely real here. I just don't think the Danish league is the greatest league to go to. Surely going to Celtic, Scottish Premiership, Champions League, and I get it, Midtjylland in the Champions League as well, but I mean, I think Celtic are more likely to do more in the Champions League. I think he's more likely to be in a more global stage. Scottish football is a lot bigger than Danish football. And then, of course, Mainz, he'd be playing in the German Bundesliga. The Bundesliga, one of the top leagues, and there's a lot of Asian players in the Bundesliga as well. So I just think he would have fit in more at Celtic or Mainz rather than Midtjylland. But you know what? That's his choice. He's made it, guys, and we'll find out whether or not it is a good signing for him. But if you want to check out my channel, Son Scotland 80, guys, I've signed him before in a career mode, and he did good for me. So yeah, I'm interested to see if the hype behind him is really that good, or whether if he's going to flop or not. But he did have a good World Cup, so yeah, maybe he'll have a good season for Midtjylland. Anyway, that is it for your daily transfer roundup, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Till next time, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.